Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Seki Reacts.
Yeah, actually, this time, it is a Seki Reacts to a servant that I actually had not, I did not know about this mythological character. I had not delved... I mean, this is a bit of a deep take in kind of
You
Greek...
didn't know about it by this name, but you've seen her imagery before.
Yeah, because I've seen the fucking... whatchamacallem, the...
Sword and Scale?
Yeah, well, Sword and Scale isn't her. That's Dyke, or DK. Technically. Well, because the Sword and Scale is Libra, right? Mm-hmm. She's the Virgo constellation, right? Which is separate. Virgo the Virgin. Libra is Deke. See, nearby Libra. Libra is Sword and Scale. Whereas Astraea is the Virgo constellation. Virgo's the maid. Yeah, the maiden. So, but you're right. You're kind of right. You're in the right ballpark. They're literally right next to one another. They're associated together in mythology. But this is a bit of a deep take because I have never really looked into the zodiacs beyond like obviously like knowing about the zodiacs. It's not really my sort of thing. And then I'm Heathen take here. I really don't give a shit about constellations 90% of the time. We live in a world where in most places around the world, if you're living in a big kind of city,
you can't see the constellations.
You can't see the constellations, and when you can, it's really hard to find them if you don't have like a telescope.
It's not like ancient times when they could be used as a map.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. So I'm super not into astronomy, to be honest. So like this was a deep take for me. I had actually heard more about her in the context of like Rome than I had in like the Greek pantheon, right? I didn't even know that that she existed in the Greek pantheon, right? And I mean, part of that is because the Greek pantheon is rather expansive when you get down to the level of like smaller deities. Like lots of gods just had a ton of babies with like nymphs, fauns, all this shit, or like other like immortals and had a bunch of like baby-ish things, you know what I mean? So, but getting down to it. So this is Astraea, the Star Maiden. And she is the daughter of Astraeus and Eos. Eos is the dawn in Greek mythology. She's a virgin goddess in charge of justice, innocence, purity, precision. In some Latin texts, she's also associated with righteous fury and vengefulness. And with the goddess, who is associated with righteous fury and vengeance. But she's also closely associated with the Greek goddess of justice, Dike. Which is interesting. She does have an asteroid belt like star named after her. And apparently, I did not know this, but her name was suggested instead of Uranus for the planet Uranus. Which would have been weird because like we've got this whole like major Greek gods thing going on there, and you would have just had like this random one.
Being fair, Uranus is like...
But, well, Roman and Greek
It's
gods.
a little interesting that Uranus is there, because Uranus is, not one,
Oranos.
but two.
Yeah.
Two like, levels above the Greeks there.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So, she is said to have lived during the Golden Age, which is one of Hesiod's 5 ages of man in the Theogony. And it's said that Ovid said that she abandoned Earth and humanity and their wickedness to become Virgo, the virgin in the sky. And that her closeness with Libra represents the constellation Libra, because they're right next to each other, represents her relationship to Dike, who is the Greek version of the Libra goddess. The Libra goddess is Justitia, but it's the same person, basically. Supposedly, it's said that she will come back one day as an ambassador, bringing a utopian golden age back to humans on Earth, according to several stories. Virgil references this in his Eclogues. Poetically, she's been associated with Queen Elizabeth I and Philip IV of Spain, and she was used in Edmund Spenser's Fairy Queen a few times. She's also been mentioned in some of the Shakespeare plays, Titus Andronicus, Henry the Fourth Part 1, and Milton references her in Paradise Lost. So she's fairly well referenced kind of all through literature, especially in like classic British literature, which is absolutely fascinating to me because you wouldn't think of that. Her name translates about to like starry one, right? Because Aster is star. So I figured since I don't have a whole ton on her, what might be interesting is for me to read a couple of literary quotes that involve her, because then you can kind of get a view at what she's kind of known for in mythology and literature. So, according to Hesiod's Works and Days, right? Would that I were not among the men of the fifth age, the current era, but either had died before or been born afterwards. For now truly is a race of iron, and men never rest from labor and sorrow by day. Strength will be right, and reverence will cease to be, and the wicked will hurt the worthy man, speaking false words upon him, and will swear an oath upon him. Envy, foul mouth, delighting in evil, with scowling face, will go along with wretched men, one and all, and Nemesis, retribution, and Eidos, respect, shrouded their bright forms in pale mantles, shall go from the wide-wade earth back to Olympus, forsaking the whole race of mortal men, and all that will be left them to mankind will be wretched pain, and there shall be no defense against evil. That's her opinion on the fifth age of man, like the golden age that she's living in, because it was a time of just wickedness, according to Hesiod in the Works and Days. Like, truly terrible. Move forward a bit in time. I thought this one would be a fun one to mention. She's actually mentioned in the Argonautica, but the Argonautica written by Valerius Flaccus, not the Argonautica we read for the Argonauts, a separate one. Where she says, "At no other season of the year does fiercer fear sway men's heart than does Astraea urge her plea, than does she implore Zeus's anger against the nations, and leaving the earth importunes Saturnus' star with her complaints. Then follows the darkling Eurus, and with his brethren thunders upon the Aegean main, and all the sea strains shoreward." Which I thought was also interesting. She's mentioned in like several other like ancient Greek sources. Which I think is super fun. Honestly, great characterization. And then I'm going to head down to literary references. And I figure, so when she's mentioned in Paradise Lost by Milton, it says, "God, the Eternal, hung forth in heaven his golden scales, yet seen betwixt Astraea and the Scorpion sign, wherein all things created first he weighed, the pendulous round earth, with balanced air in counterpoise, now ponders all events, battles, and realms." So she's mentioned as a kind of a member of the stars. Let's see. In the 1709 satire, The New Atlantis, she's one of the allegorical female narrators. And then in terms of there's also a poem about her by Ralph Waldo Emerson. I mean, that's obviously not all of the literary mentions of her, but it's kind of interesting what she's associated with and where she gets mentioned, you know? So that's really about all I have. I didn't, like, obviously we don't have much on her, other than all those classical mentions. And I wasn't going to read every single time she's mentioned in classical literature, because there were a lot more and longer passages, and they all kind of amount to a similar thing.
But this ain't Zeus in terms of how much mythology there is.
No, absolutely not.
So,
although Zeus was mentioned twice.
Yes. All right. So Astraea is a ruler servant.
Ooh, it's been a while. Also, love this design. Love her. Mommy. I love this. I have an unironic adoration for this. You know what it reminds me of a little bit in the second and third form? You know, okay, we discussed this, and I'm going to have to bring back to another video to remember the name of it. Ketz.
Yes.
That celebration. With the not wearing much and the feathers and the jewels and the...
Santa Ketz?
Yes.
Samba Ketz?
Samba Ketz. But it's like a specific event, festival. It's a festival.
Are you talking about Carnival?
Yes, Carnival. This reminds me a little bit of Carnival, or honestly the Lucha Libre outfits. This reminds me a lot of Samba Ketz, to be honest.
You know what? That's not the only thing you're probably going to say reminds you of Samba Ketz.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, because she's the forklift. I love this, like, unironically. Go back to the first art.
So this is the more Luvia looking one.
This is stunning. Like, this looks beautiful. This is well designed. And also, I want to give kudos to whoever her artist is, who has perfectly portrayed an extremely muscled woman in the highs and lows. I don't know if you can tell, but the shadowing here is showing that this is a built,
so it's probably the first pseudo-servant we see that's a little bit off the normal FGO art style. And so, and you could tell if, like,
stacked.
I have a little thing here on Luvia. Like, if I shift over to Luvia here, you can see it's a little bit, it looks a little, like, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that's Luvia without knowing.
No, but I adore this. Like, unironically adore this. Like, I would dress as this for, like, a holiday or like an event. Like, I would cosplay this. I would do this for Halloween. This is beautiful.
So I'm going to go over here, shift to Luvia here, because unlike most of the case file servants, I actually have a fair bit that you don't see in case files. Luvia here is one of 2 twin heirs to the Edelfelt family. Mm-hmm. All Edelfelt's generations have 2 heirs.
Okay.
Her family is going to be... her family's not going to be too important, but it's worth noting they were involved in at least one previous Holy Grail War prior to the ones we see in written material. Okay. And during that one, it's heavily implied one of the twin heirs got hitched to the Tosaka heir. So that means that she and Tosaka, who fucking hate each other, are actually related.
Oh, boy. That's what you call family hate.
Apparently, speaking of the two, Rin and Luvia's fight in London was apparently so legendary it resulted the 2 of them from being banned from the student dorms, which is why Shiro and Rin know her in the epilogue of Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh, God.
Their rivalry can be noted to be more than a huge headache for a certain professor of modern magecraft. I'll also note for the Prisma Ilya fans out there, there is a timeline where she has an adopted sister, maid, child, servant, magical girl from another dimension. Fun.
What
so
the fuck?
Back to Estrella.
Yeah.
Estrella fights with, if you remember from this form, the sword and the scales here. Mm-hmm. I'll go ahead and scroll through here. So she's actually more Estrella than Luvia.
Okay.
I think she might have a little bit of Luvia in there, but it's going to be more Estrella.
Okay. So we've got relationship lines. Ishtar. I can't believe she takes joy in collecting those ugly old gemstones. Well, one of these days I will have to show her who is truly number 1. Okay. Swimsuit. Oh my, that goddess has a summer outfit, then I have no choice. Hurry up and procure a swimsuit for me, master!
Hang on, it's been like 4, 5 years now? Or 2, somewhere between 2 to 5 years, she has no swimsuit form. Somewhere between 2 to 5 years. I think it's probably 3 4 years.
I feel a deep sense of victimization and insult.
Yeah, it would have to be 4 years because last year's collab. No, it's only been. Last year's collab was case. Was it case file? Last year's collab.
Regardless, I am bereft.
No, it was Requiem. It's been 4 years. 4 years.
Regardless, I am bereft. I must grieve over this after this video is over. All right, Emiya. Shiro. Don't mind me. The name just popped out. I'm not sure. I see the spelling difference. Shiro. Shadow. Yeah. I'm sure that's not his name. I actually don't know why it even popped in my head. Emiya Alter. He must be the end result of some ideal or other. I bet he intended to burn himself to trash. Yet. Ugh, this is still getting on my nerves. I'm going to give him an earful. Zhuge Liang. That mage is an incessant nag and a busybody. The only thing I'll give him is that he's a good teacher. Gray. Haha. So that one girl who wields the sacred lance is here too. If the mood takes me, I'd like to take a stroll through London. Through the London we ray shifted to. Okay. Alright. Ilias Veal, Chloe, Sitanai, whatever. It's wonderful to see her fight so bravely, but don't you think she's too young? Well, with humanity so unstable, her pure innocence may be of help too. But that's what makes it so heartbreaking. Aw. Miu, I don't know who Miu is.
Miu is the maid servant I mentioned.
Okay. Cats. I can't believe Quetzalcoatl is here too. And she's a luchadora on top of that. I want a wrestling match with her! Are we gonna get to see this shit? Is there a wrestling match?
No, not yet. We don't get a lot to do with Luvia here.
Not only did I not get a swimsuit version, but I also don't get 2 hot mommies.
Actually, I think
Lucha Libre wrestling.
The wrestling tournament predates Estrella here.
So all you are confirming to me is that Fate is slacking
on Estrella.
Absolutely fucking slacking. That makes me mad. Okay. Independent action, territory creation, divine core of the goddess. Okay, that makes sense. Scroll down. I will scroll since you are looking at stuff. All right. Protection of the scales. Skill that originates from the divine spirit. The scales, the symbol of Estrella. You know what? I think you're right. I think the scales are probably associated with her too. I just always think of that with Libra because Justitia uses the scales. Maybe they're both associated
probably the association
with
of the
it?
constellation, because the constellation Estrella is associated with having the scales, which were based off of.
Okay, that would make more sense. The constellation Virgo, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that would make more sense. All right. So that makes okay. All right. Mana Burst, Judgment of the Stars. Yeah. Okay. Noble Phantasm, Custos Morum, and I am ready at Virgo.
So she has
Weirdo.
2 NPs here.
Yeah.
So I'll
Custos
start here
Morum.
with. Oh, apparently I'm going backwards.
He's. Okay. A judgment shall be made. This is the weight of your goodness, and this is the weight of your sins. Bear it. Okay. So this is her scales. Check them. I want to see the name.
It's her judging the target here.
Yeah, Guardian of Morals. Could have guessed that. Because Custo from Custodian, and then Morum from Morals and Mores. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, look at that. Popular name for the Star Chamber Court once set up by the Tudor dynasty of England. Tangential relation to some of the literature I mentioned. I mean, that's a very faint straw, but it's there. Want me to click back?
Yeah.
And open the other one?
Yep.
Yam redit et Virgo.
This
Let
is
order
Luvia's
be returned.
sword.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Let order be returned. It comes, hey! I literally quoted the Eclogue of Virgil. Literally quoted the Eclogue of Virgil. And the Order of the Ages in the Golden Age. I do so love it when the little research I do manage to get is just chef's kiss incorporated perfectly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just...
All right, so we'll move on to seeing the NP's plot. We have both a regular and an arcade.
Love her.
By the way, she also fights with Luvia's wrestling moves.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yes. Oh. Whack him. Yes, I noticed. I remember the gems. Oh my god, she just suplexed him. Okay, first of all, never loved something more. Second of all, I feel like we've had a real sort of like... So we've got like the scales here, but we also talked about like the measuring of sins and like the weighing of scales when we did our Anubis like commentary in the Nitocris video, because we talked about the weighing of the heart, and this is virtually the same thing, which is really interesting cross-culturally, because you see like essentially the weighing of the sins both present in Greek mythology, right? Like the judgment being passed over the sins of the person in Greek mythology and in Egyptian mythology, right? In like a very tactile way with a set of scales sort of thing, you know?
We know that Greece and Egypt were not the least connected nations.
Oh, they were so unconnected, they never met.
They were
not
so
even
unconnected,
once.
they shared a king at one point.
More than once. Anyways, oh, that doesn't need to keep playing. I did love that, though. See, here's the thing. Luvia was my waifu in...
Case Files?
Yeah. When it wasn't, you know, El Malloy, obviously. Because the pile driver shit and Forklift Lady. Love Forklift Lady. Also, isn't she the one who... The Luxor Mall?
Yes.
Yeah, which was my favorite location for, like, the entire show. Yeah.
Just, white lady buying Egyptian artifacts and using Egyptian iconography. You know.
All right, can I close this?
Yep. Move right over to the arcade.
Awesome. We love arcades. We are here for arcades. Oh, she's the base of the ruler card, too.
Yep.
Interesting.
By the way, the ruler card predates her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She's so
She's
pretty.
one of the more recent rulers, actually.
She's just so pretty. Look at her. She's so pretty. God, I'm so bisexual. Hit her. Hit her. That's right. Kill the bitch goddess. I saw Ishtar there. Don't think I didn't. I saw Ishtar there.
Here she uses the sword.
Oh, I would have really liked to see her suplex.
I think that was easier with sprites than it was to do with 3D models.
Darn. It would have been so good, though. Here?
Nope.
Here.
That one.
Here.
Got to get one more look at that artwork.
I like all of it, you know? Every part of it. It's all perfection. It's all perfection. Oh! She got a little baseball art! And this one is the same style as the other one.
Maybe they had a few artists doing it.
Yeah, I wonder if like each artist was like given a team.
I wonder if they're doing that to decrease the amount of workload they have to put on the Rio artist who does the normal April Fool's stuff, because this year they had this instead of April Fool's.
Can I look something up real quick? Oh, I gotta add fate to that. I need this one, right?
Yep.
Okay, I wanna look something. Because I just want to see, because I think I... Sorry.
And close the MP if you want to.
Yeah. But you see what I mean? These two share an artist. Like, very obviously.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Like, but look at the eyes. And the mouth. That's the same artist. And then, I just want to make this comparison real quick. Fucking... Ooh, no, it was down there? No, it was not. You're right, you gotta look up G.O.
There's too many Fate wikis at this point.
I know. Alright. See what I mean? Totally different artist. But this was shared with another servant we saw who had...
It might just be split by like groupings of servants.
Yeah, I mean that's fine because this one was in because that was the Macedon team or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming that like maybe they group them up into teams and like each team shares the same artist.
Maybe.
That could be interesting. I don't know if it would be true, but anyways, I just thought I just wanted to look at that. Okay, nothing here is new. All right, icons. Oh, nice sprites. She's so pretty. Expression sheets. I don't always look at expressions, but you know, I like them.
No, how dare you?
She's so fucking buff. Look at, she's so fucking buff.
Got an extra artwork this time.
Look at what she's doing.
Wish that were you.
Yes, unequivocally. Like the dead ass wish.
She's got a command code.
Yep, Lady Justice. Oh yes. All right. Whoa. I'd like to make a comment about one of these when we get to it, and I'm going to tell you when we get there. All right. Gem Magecraft Antumbra. All right. The moon and the night casts a reflection on the lake's surface. The two sisters enhance each other's power.
So I think this is supposed to just be Luvia, because this one, I think, predates Estrella.
Okay. That makes sense. Still pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Just Luvia and Ren.
Oh! Look at the anger mark. Look at that fucking... Oh, they're mad.
So they're about to shoot Gondors. That's the funny thing is...
I would like to make the comment. This is the one I wanted to make a comment. Insert heinously long light novel title about villainesses here. I want to rip the wicked and villainous daughter apart. That is literally what this is.
So fun fact about their Gondor spells. Rin's family, I believe, stole the Gondor spell from Luvia's family, who stole the Gondor spell from someone else.
Amazing. All right. Could I possibly be inside a game? Oh my fucking god. This is literally a light novel.
It's a light novel.
Could I possibly be inside a game after I awoke from being knocked out by a plancha move from the top rope? The world if a popular Otome game called Secret Jewel Magic opened up before my eyes. I reincarnated into the daughter of Count Edelfelt, destined to be defeated by the main character, Ishtarin, a commoner who's only versed in Baiji Quan. Using my proud wrestling moves, a red-haired butler who serves the Comtesse, a pale knight of few words, a bard who would sleep at any opportunity, and a knight in shining armor type proto-prince who is also the fiancé to the Comtesse. All these weird conquests need to be taken down. If this is a game where I can't win, then I'll just make sure she doesn't win either. Coming to the ultimate realization that I just needed to knock out all the pretty boys before Ishtarin conquers them. I vanquished the game's world in no time at all. However, I never realized that such actions would lead to me becoming the villainess of the entire world. As the battle between the two heroines escalates without any end in sight, what will the conclusion reveal? You know what the worst part is?
What?
I'd read it. And this is very much light novel, like manga art for something like this. Like, I would read this.
A villainess light novel where the villainess doesn't try to play politically, she just learns to fight really, really.
Yeah, she's I'm just gonna pile drive you. Yes.
Can't kill me if I can pile drive you.
So, fun fact, there actually is one of these that's very similar to that.
Christ.
Except wait, it's not an Otome game.
Is it the time loop one?
It's a time loop one, but it's not an Otome game. But sure, apparently, she gets broken up with by the prince, right? And then she's just like, "I have one request. Can I do something?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." Before you're banished, and then she pulls out a set of spiked knuckle gloves and starts beating the ever loving shit out of everyone. And then it turns out that her childhood nickname was the Mad Dog, and her family has done like 10 years of trying to hide this past. I love it. Anyways, you knew I was gonna love this.
Yeah.
Scale of the stars. So this is her scale. Oh, look at that nice little column arch thing. The lightness of good, the weight of sin, the weight of evil, the lightness of punishment. Her scales always balance. Even should she be judging a god, none can doubt the impartiality of her rulings. It is when she sets her scales aside that justice may take something of a break. Not to say that justice has been halted altogether, more of a hiatus. She surely does this only for the sake of a single master. Adorable. Heroic spirit dress, festive wear, Lucha Libre. This is Lucha Libre.
Actually, it looks more like boxing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is boxing. You know what? I'm okay with it regardless. This is boxing. Celebrate this 4th anniversary. Love this. To pursue literary and military arts simultaneously.
Oh, look at Jaguar Man training
Jaguar Man.
Training Estrella.
Her headband says justice. Her headband says justice. I love this. There's a saying that if you run after 2 hares, you will catch neither. People from the olden days sure meowed a bunch of clever things. And yep, life is indeed full of failures like that. However, if you're going to call yourself a goddess, the correct thing to do is to claim both fames. Be the best at martial arts, be smart, be sexy. That's the true eye of the tiger. By the way, do you think this lady with the scales is more muscular than me, Owl? Meow?
Meow.
Meow.
Fucking Jaguar Man.
I love this. You knew I would.
Yeah.
Stars and wine chocolate.
Here's the Valentines.
Yep. Oh, look, her scales are on the wine bottle. And the stars there. Okay. Chocolates eaten with Estrella. It's semi-sweet dark chocolate decorated with sparkly stars. 1 wine bottle is still sealed. The goddess of the balanced scales waits patiently till the day when that bottle can be opened. She waits for that miraculous moment when the impossible promise is fulfilled. Nice. I appreciate. Road to Star. It's Kets.
Down there's Penth.
It's Kets in an army outfit.
So you got Kets, Penth, and Estrella all in one CE.
Oh, and they're in different outfits too.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love, like, I wish I got a full body of Kets in this, like, army camo shit. Like, this is glorious. Okay. Road to Star. Literally nothing. It's too new.
Do you want to Google auto-translate that?
Yes. Translate section to English. Aim high and keep climbing. Grab the guidance of fate in this hand. It's only natural to stand above people, both as a fighter and an arbitrator. So I think it's a competition between the three.
Yep.
Yeah. I love it. Gander?
So here's the Gonder spell again.
Oh, yes. I see the little pop and shit. Yeah. I'm going to try. Sorry. Let's go this way.
Didn't work that badly last time.
Oh, that didn't work. Oh. Beautiful blue ball of the magician world and the most graceful hunter on earth. A powerful, straightforward, resounding, and pure melody is released from her graceful fingertips. So that's just a...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Interesting. Yeah, I like it. Just gonna go back to the one that I like.
So that was Luvia. Our shortest video in a long time.
A long time. But a good one. A good one, because like the last really short video we had, like this was Blackbeard, and I had some qualms with Blackbeard. I kind of wish he'd been a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Not just a gag character.
Yeah, but like this is glorious. This is taking a character who has like very, very little on them, right? Combining them with like a good character to make like what is essentially a fucking hilarious character, but who is actually really well done. Like, I love this. This is an inspired CE. Like, this is my favorite thus far. Like, this may be my favorite CE I've ever seen.
You need someone to turn this into an actual piece of Fate fan fiction.
Yeah, like, genuinely. Like, this is great. I love this. And then, like, just in general, I gotta say, this might be, like, top 5 character designs I've seen so far in Fate. Like, period. Right? And I've seen a lot of character designs at this point. So, like, this might be like top 5 for me if I had to really sit down and like look at a set of like all the characters I've seen so far and pick my top 5. This would make it in, along with Kets.
Should make you do a top 5 video every year.
You could. Technically, you could just make me do a ranking video every year. The end of every year, just like give me all the and make a tier list. But yeah, no, this is stunning. I love this.
See, but I fear for the Artoria fans if we do that.
All to the bottom except for Lancer. And Arthur. And Castor. No, they have hope. And Gundam. Anyways, but yeah. I mean, that's kind of my opinion on it. I mean, yeah. So I think we've got a hint for our next video.
I mean, it's Case Files month, and there's literally only one Case Files servant left for us to do.
But...
Technically, 2, but we'll do them at the same time, I think. Brush up on the other one. I mean, that's the hint, ain't it? Do we need to say it?
We gotta sing it.
Chan, chan, ay cheeky, cheeky, chan, chan.
Cheeky, cheeky, chan, chan. Cheeky, cheeky, chan, chan.